out of his way. This was a Wednesday, May 20th. Blay was on his way to pick up Tessie. The Ford's left front door, although appearing undamaged by the accident that had crumpled the wing, still required a twist of wire around the doorpost to keep it closed. The door rattled every time the car hit a bump. "I heard it rattling when it turned onto St. Stephen's Green South," one witness said. "It's God's own mercy I wasn't at the Grafton corner when it happened." Blay turned right off St. Stephen's Green South, which put him on St. Stephen's Green West, hugging the left lane as he headed for Grafton Street. There were better routes for him to make his connection with Tessie, but this was his way. "He liked to see all the people," Tessie said. "God rest him. That's what he said he missed most when he quit the postal. All the people." Blay, slight and wrinkled, had that skin-stretched, cadaverous look that is common among certain aged Celts from the south of Ireland. He wore a soiled brown hat almost the exact shade of his patched sweater, and he drove with the patient detachment of someone who came this way often. And if the truth were known, he rather liked being slowed by the heavy traffic. It had been cold and wet through most of spring, and while it was still cloudy, the cloud cover had thinned, and there was a feeling that there might be a break in the weather. Only a few of the pedestrians carried umbrellas. The trees of St. Stephen's Green on Blay's right were in full leaf. As the Ford inched along in the congested traffic, the man watching for it from a fourth-floor window of the Irish Film Society building nodded once in satisfaction. Right on time. Blay's Ford had been selected because of this Wednesday punctuality. There was also the fact that Blay did not garage his car where he and Tessie lived in Davit Road. The Ford was parked outside beside a thick yew hedge, which could be approached from the street along a path shielded by a parked van. There had been a van parked in this covering position the previous night. Neighbors had seen it, but no one had thought to comment at the time. "There were often vehicles parked in that place," one said. "How are we to know?" The watcher at the Film Society building had many names, but he had been born Joseph Lee O'Herity. He was a small, solidly fleshy man with a long, thin face and pale, almost translucent skin. Herity wore his blond hair combed straight back and hanging almost to the collar. His light brown eyes were deeply set, and he had a pug nose with prominent nostrils from which hair protruded. From his fourth-floor vantage, Herity commanded an overview of the entire setting for the drama he was about to ignite. Directly across from him, the tall trees of the green formed a verdant wall enclosing the flow of vehicles and pedestrians. The Robert Emmet statue stood opposite his window, and to the left of it, there was a black-on-white sign to the public toilets. Blay's Ford had stopped with the traffic just to the left of Herity's window. A white tour bus with blue and red stripes down its side loomed over the small Ford. Traffic fumes were thick even at the fourth-floor level. Herity checked Blay's license number to be certain. Yes, JIA 5028. Then there was the crumpled left front wing. The traffic began to inch forward, then stopped once more. Herity glanced left at the Grafton Street corner. He could see the signs of the Toy World shop and the Irish Permanent Society on the ground floor of the red brick building, soon to be taken over by the Ulster Bank. There had been some protest about that, one ragged march with a few signs, but it had died out quickly. The Ulster Bank had powerful friends in the government. Barney and his lot, Herity thought. They think we're ignorant of their scheme to make a peace with the Ulster boys. Again Blay's Ford inched toward the corner, but once more was stopped. There was heavy foot traffic where Grafton took off from St. Stephen's Green. A bald-headed man in a dark blue suit had stopped almost directly beneath Herity's window and was examining the cinema marquee. Two young men pushing bicycles threaded their way past the bald-headed man. The traffic remained stopped. Herity looked down at the top of Blay's car. So innocent-looking, that car. Herity had been one of the two men.